Thank you very much. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to first of all thank the CS and the PS on behalf of the people of Marsabit. Honorable Speaker, we visited the CS's office some time back because of the problems we had of electricity in Marsabit. That problem has been solved through his efforts and the PS. I want to say thank you very much on behalf of our people. Honorable Speaker, the question that I've asked is who foots the bill? Who is going to pay the cost the business people incurred and the damages? That is my question. And also, the other question, Honorable Speaker, is KenGen is going to come to Marsabit very soon. And they have already started the public participation process. And the CS is aware that we had an issue with Electricana wind power, and the issue is still before the court. Can the CS tell us what are we going to do, what is he going to do in regards to KenGen going to Loyangalani for supply of electricity? And finally, I want to ask the CS to tell us how far has he gone on the issue of the line from Electricana wind power going into Marsabit and Isiolo. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable CS, proceed to respond to that. Honorable CS, we are waiting on you to check the microphone.
Thank you, Speaker and Honorable. The supplementary question from Honorable CHUTE, and thank you for the compliments. We are at your service, Honorable members. If there are issues that we can deal on one by one, we'll be happy to do so, because we have one goal: to build this country together. Marsabit, let me answer the second question on what we are doing or what KenGen is doing to better service the Loyangalani of power. We recognize that we need to service these residents of this area, and there is a project which Honorable CHUTE may be aware about, where we are connecting Loyangalani. We are building a high voltage line from Loyangalani to Marsabit, and from Marsabit down to Isiolo. When we came into office, that project had been processed together with Gilgil, Mala, Tika Mala, and a payment made for the counterpart funding to support the foreign side, which was coming out of China Exim. So a payment has been made. What we did immediately, because that payment was not enough, was to descope the two projects, the Loyangalani, Marsabit, Isiolo. We descoped it from Gilgil, Thika, Mala. And what that meant is we were able to then take Gilgil, Thika, Mala onto a PPP framework, the PPP I talked about, and it's advancing well. The Loyangalani, Marsabit, Isiolo then remained with a payment which represents 15% of the payment which is required as a counterpart funding, so that we can draw the EXIM funds to be able to build that line. We are further descoping that project to ensure that as we build this line, we are able to step down from 400 to 132 and 66 and be able to service that community. And as we go to Isiolo, we should be able also to step down from the 400 kV through that descoping and ensuring that we service the people of Isiolo, Marsabit, as the line comes down. That is an advanced stage. The descoping work is going on through China Exim. In principle, we are done on the Kenya part, and the payment has been made. So we should be seeing, as soon as we are done, with our partners, China Exim and the contractor, the line or the contractor going to site, because payment has already been made on the counterpart Kenya portion. And so as soon as we finish with China Exim, we should see not only the big lines being built, but the step down from those high voltages to the voltage that feeds the communities coming out. And together with last mile, for the first time, we should see Loyangalani on grid. We should see Marsabit on grid, coming down all the way to Isiolo, where we already have a 132 line. Honorable members, we basically would be happy to really see that region on grid on account of the fact that Marsabit is very rich on wind resources, very rich on solar. And as we pull those resources to the significant industry or load centers, we will be servicing the communities, cobbling with the last mile programs where you fund us as Parliament. Regarding the first question on compensation, when we have a major blackout which impacts on the whole country, the point would be to establish the cause and be able to really apportion the blame. Why you had me reading up to the millisecond when the event occurred is to find out whether did the private investor power plant in Lake Turkana go out first and cause the problem, or was the problem caused by the Juja 220, which came in 100 milliseconds later? So that work is going on, but again, honorable members, when we have a blackout, it is so significant in terms of losses for the country. And like I said, when we have a company like Kenya Power where we are trying to restructure its balance sheet to be able, Kenya Power backstops all the IPPs in terms of the partial risk guarantees that supports power generation for Kenya. And unlike the banks, if one bank goes down, the other banks would be there. So we really need to take care of KPLC, even as we go today to from one market player to an open market where we will be allowing generators to generate power and wheel it to market or to load centers using the wheeling policy, which is shortly being gazetted for purposes of allowing multiple players in the industry. Because when I talked about a market which is unbundled, you should be able to generate your own power in a power plant and get Traco to wheel that power to market for you and sell that power to industry wherever you want to sell in the country. And that then removes the Kenya Power being required to reticulate or transmit and reticulate. So the unbundling is a significant aspect of what we've done in supporting opening up the market, so that we then move from a one market buyer where Kenya Power buys all the energy and distributes to an open market where anybody can generate, use Traco to wheel the power to market and sell that power to industry, wherever the industry is. A lot of work is still going on in this space of compensation, and how much can we compensate when there is something like a national disaster or a major accident. But as regarding challenges where a cabling problem or a transformer caused a problem and Kenya Power is culpable, then that doesn't present a problem in compensation, and we do that from time to time. But when we have a national challenge, like when the whole network goes out because of something that is almost close to a national disaster, it becomes a challenge to say who should compensate, because we would certainly be closing down a company that we need to support the rest of the economy. We need to pay attention to that compensation space, but compensation do happen in where the faults are very specific and pertaining to what could have been avoidable, to the extent that Kenya Power would then be able to compensate the affected families or the affected businesses to that extent. So we need to look at how do we then compensate when it is a national challenge, which, if costed, even the entire company could basically go under and therefore cause a problem for the entire country. Thank you, members.